Hello and welcome to the Islamic Finance Weekly, where we discuss key developments in the non-interest finance market. A lot has been written about Islamic finance and halal products globally, but the focus here is to identify the potentials and prospects for business owners to tap into the enormous opportunities the market provides. The demand for halal products globally by both Muslims and non-Muslims has increased sporadically, and the products have become a global interest and being given more attention even among countries which are not dominated by Muslims, such as China, Australia, Brazil, among others. In this edition of the Islamic Finance Weekly, we'll be discussing the trends, challenges and opportunities in the halal industry. Joining us from Vietnam today is the founder and chief executive officer of Vietnam Halal Center, Mr. Ramlan Osman. Good afternoon, Mr. Ramlan, and thank you for being with us.
And a very good afternoon, and thank you for having me.
My pleasure. The halal market is not only thriving in Muslim-dominated countries, but also in non-Muslim dominated countries like the United States, United Kingdom, Japan, and China. Tell us about halal and how the industry can thrive in a country like Nigeria.
Okay. Again, thank you very much for having me. If I were to take an example of where I come from, Malaysia, halal is no more about religion. Malaysia, like Nigeria, we are multicultural, multi-religious country, and halal to many Malaysians is about quality, it's about safety, and it's about trust. Yeah, so that's what halal is, and we need to look halal beyond religion, as I said. So it must be remembered that halal, as you know, we have 1.8 billion Muslim in the world, and people are going into this quality products. So is the non-Muslim. So the key words I mentioned here is about the integrity, about safety, and also about the quality of food in itself.
Thank you very much, Mr. Ramlan, for those insights. Even recent research show that halal industry is now gaining global attention. You know, the COVID-19 disrupted the global economy and adversely impacted industries. In 2021, what are the key trends to watch in the halal industry?
Okay, most of the Eastern world just celebrated Chinese New Year or the Lunar Year. And Chinese have to believe this, is the word crisis have two meanings. One is a disaster, and the other one is an opportunity. I think not being on the negative side, but pandemic have opened up this Pandora box where Muslim and the halal community needs to step up, especially of the food and security. Vietnam being in the African continent, which is what, the second largest population in the African continent, we need to do more to look at food security, food safety, whereby we need to step up, so that because of this pandemic, because of the way the food have been produced, the way it is being distributed, the way it's being shipped out, so that is more reason why we need to give a higher priority in terms of food and beverage in the halal market.
So it is well known that in the second surah of Quran, trade is allowed and riba is forbidden, which is also known as interest. What are the major challenges facing the growth of the halal market?
I think if you look at not only, we have 57 Muslim countries out of OIC.
OIC member.
57. The biggest challenge is to get all the 57 countries to have something which we need to work together among the members. What I realized by coming into Vietnam is that halal cannot be a piecemeal work. If you need halal to work on a global basis, all the 57 Muslim countries need to work together. We need to have one single voice, because halal is halal. Doesn't matter whether it's halal from Malaysia or halal from Thailand, halal from Australia. Halal is halal. But so far, we are lacking that. The uniformity in halal isn't there. So we must get all the government heads, they must sit down together to look at halal is only one. Yeah, it means permissible. It doesn't matter what sect you're from. Doesn't matter either you're Sunnis, doesn't matter if you're from a different groups. We must work together to see that halal is in tandem with the teaching of Islam.
And also, efforts must be made by Nigerian government to establish the halal certifying authority in order to gain global traction.
Okay, very good question. I like that. I think similarly, which I'm here in Vietnam, I'm looking at, Nigeria needs to have what we call this regulatory agency. Without regulatory agency, without having an institutionalized body, halal cannot fly. Halal will not work if we have only what we call piecemeal work. So in that manner, the government of Vietnam, I used to work for Halal Industry Development Corporation of Malaysia, which is an agency itself looking at halal, both domestic and also international promotion of halal. My belief that Nigeria needs to have that, a single entity body whereby you need to look at halal holistically, and so that halal will become a business entity and also an export for countries like Nigeria.
As you've mentioned, it will be helpful if Nigeria can use Malaysia as a benchmark in the halal industry.
Correct. Yes, because like I said, in Malaysia, we started halal 43 years ago. Yeah, 43 years ago, we started with JAKIM. JAKIM is the governing body of all halal food and halal processes in Malaysia. And then the government started what we call Halal Industry Development Corporation, whereby this is an agency that looks after halal commercialization, halal economy, halal export, and halal promotion. These are the agencies. I think you do not need to reinvent the wheels. Yeah, for Vietnam, you can replicate what we've done, and it's there already. The processes are there. What you need to do is you need to tap on what's being done in Malaysia, and you can shorten the time because you do not have to make mistake like what we did. And in fact, we can shorten it. Instead of 43 years, I'm sure we can do a lot faster because of the technology that's available right now.
You made a very valid point, Mr. Ramlan. Now, Nigeria has the 5th largest Muslim population in the world and has enormous potentials to unlock economic growth and development. So when we look at opportunities in the halal industry, what can you say are the key areas to explore to deepen its growth globally?
Okay, you don't have to go very far. Yeah, Nigeria have agriculture, Nigeria have poultry, Nigeria have manufacturing. You don't have to go very far. What you need to do is internally, almost 80 million of the population are Muslim. If you have a domestic market which is big, that would be your catalyst, because once you have a big domestic market, for you to move into the African continent to Europe, that will be easy. So to me, you need to get halal done properly in Nigeria, have a proper body, have a standardization, then you can easily replicate and get the goods which you're producing it anyway. So what you need to do is just get another scope whereby you need to halalize the product and put in the right ecosystem for the product to be shifted out into an export market. And that's what we did in Malaysia.
So with the African Continental Free Trade Agreement taking effect in 2021, how can Africa leverage the halal market to boost its regional economy?
Okay, I remember you are working very well with One Agrics, right? There is an agency whereby you tap on some of the world bodies where you can work. I think that will give you a leverage. Yeah? Like in Malaysia or in ASEAN, we have AFTA. You also have a trade agreement that will leverage you. That will give you plenty of opportunity to get your products to be exported, especially among the African neighbors. You need the buy-in from your neighbors first. I think that will help. Yeah, once you have the buy-in from the neighbors and you know that your products are into this high-quality halal agricultural product. In fact, agricultural product is the easiest among all the halal standards. So what you need to do is with the trade agreement is to use that platform as much as you could and get the products known. And the government have to incentivize, government have to give a lot of promotion, government have to do this in tandem with the private sector so that the product from Nigeria become visible and it gets attraction, and other parts of the world cannot ignore the fact that you are using this platform to the best of the benefit. Also from the standpoint of the small farmers, they would benefit it tremendously because you've got a platform whereby this will help and mitigate some of the problem which the small farmers are having, whereby you can work on a larger scale. That would be my advice.
Thank you, Mr. Ramlan. From your perspective, how can the halal industry support Nigeria's economic recovery from recession? Like, what role should individuals, market players, the government, private sector, and the Islamic Finance Institution in Nigeria need to play to achieve this?
And Nigeria, like any other countries in the world, are facing the same problem. This pandemic did not look at whether you're Africa or Asia or North America, and it has engulfed throughout. Yeah, but what I'm trying to do here in Vietnam is I think I have put up a proposal whereby we need to look at the new startups. Yeah, the government needs to help new startup. Yeah, government needs to incentivize this, what we call Muslim millennials. Government have to do hand-holding. Government must give them funding. Government must give them all the new opportunity, new technology, IoT, whereby these are the people. If I'm not mistaken, 50% of your population in Vietnam are below 30 years old, and then you've got a young population. That is the more reason, just like in Vietnam. I like these two countries, the parallel between Vietnam and Nigeria, because they've got young population. We must incentivize young people, the Muslim millennial, to get into the bandwagon, to go into the halal economy. Sometimes, it's just like a bamboo. When it's so hard, you can't bend. But when you have a bamboo shoots, it's a lot easier to bend them. So my bet is the government must help millennials, Muslim millennials, to come up with a new startup. Don't go very far. Look at two things only: food and agriculture. That's a start. Of course, halal is big. You've got halal cosmetic, you've got halal fashion, halal lifestyle, halal non-food. But yes, but you need to start with these two. It's called the low-hanging fruits: agriculture and food. So my best bet is the government needs to help the Muslim millennials.
So when you talk about the Muslim millennials, and we are saying halal is not only for Muslims, it's for Muslims and non-Muslims.
Correct.
So what's your perspective from this? When you say the government needs to help the Muslim millennials. And we are talking about halal, that halal can help individuals, whether you are Muslims or non-Muslims.
Okay, good point. Since we're talking about halal, my stand is, we need to help the Muslim millennial first before we help everybody. If we can't do that among the Muslim millennial first, then we can't help so many people. Yeah, because we're talking about halal economy. Yeah, for others to come and follow us, we need to have a leader. So the leader of the pack has got to be the Muslim millennial first. They need to open up doors. When they open up doors, it's called the traceability aspect. When Muslim millennials start a business, they need to buy raw material from anybody. Doesn't matter. They need to have the value chain. They need to have packaging. They need raw material. They need logistics. They need transport. They need warehousing. So at the end of the day, it becomes everyone is going for the Muslim millennial. So meaning, you've got the traction from millennial Muslim right into everyone. It intricates what the society has it. I give you an example. That's what Malaysia is doing. That we're looking at, because Malaysia have got an agency called Magic, and these are an MDAC, and these are the agency whereby they help the youngsters. Yeah, they have two. One is the halal aspect, and the other one is the general aspect. So you might want to do the same thing. At the end of the day, it helps. When pandemic hits, it doesn't matter whether you're Muslim or non-Muslim, it's going to hit everyone. But we've got the best platform whereby we can make sure that the community and the society are being helped, not being left out. And this is the best time for us to do it.
Thank you, Mr. Ramlan. That was the outlook for the global halal industry amidst the uncertainties posed by the pandemic. What is the outlook for the global halal industry?
To me, I can't be more optimistic, because I look at countries. Previously we've got halal players, Australia, Brazil, we've got Thailand, of course we have Malaysia, and now we've got countries coming in out of nowhere. Did you know that Korea produced the best halal cosmetics? Who would have thought? Very small population. So to me, the traction of getting the halal commercialization is going to be big. You got to remember, now we have 1.8 billion Muslims. Give 10 more years, we're going to have over 2 billion. What? 2/3 of the population in the world are Muslim. If you go to Europe, most of the countries in Europe are looking at halal food because everybody is getting comfortable. So to me, the outlook for halal food, halal safety food, halal security, and the entire ecosystem is going to be good. Let me tell you this. Now in Indonesia, they are looking at vaccine for COVID-19, halal vaccine. Halal vaccine, yes. So the prospect is good. Day in, day out, there are some people who come up with a new product, a new process, and I would bet that this is not going to be the last that we hear about halal coming out in the open. Countries like Russia, countries like USA, countries like India are also in the domain to export their products into the halal market. If this country can do it, I am sure Nigeria can do it too.
A lot has been said today by Mr. Ramlan on the opportunities in the halal industry and how Nigeria can benefit immensely. Thank you very much for your insights and hope to feature you in subsequent edition.
Thank you very much for having me. Have a nice day. Stay safe, yeah?
And you too. Bye. It is clearly seen that Nigeria still has a lot of opportunities to venture into halal industry, as it has a huge target market, and not to mention its own halal resources such as poultry, livestock, and other agricultural products. Nigeria, as a developing country with a huge population of Muslims, has a lot of potentials to thrive as a halal market, but there are limitations such as lack of government policy and unavailability of a standard guide for halal certification and implementation. It is therefore important for all stakeholders in the halal industry, Islamic financial institutions, manufacturers, Association of Nigeria, Ministry of Industries, Trade and Investment, Agriculture and Finance to work out modalities for a roadmap for the halal industry that can reposition Africa's largest economy to enhance the opportunities to grow its economy and create jobs for its still youthful population. And that will be all for this edition of the Islamic Finance Weekly. Log on to www.proshareng.com for more information on Islamic finance. Follow us on our social media platforms showing on the screen. Kindly comment below, share with us your thoughts and also for your inquiries. Thanks for watching. See you next week for another edition. Bye for now and please stay safe.